Hey guys, and welcome to our midday mingle today. We're so excited for you to be here. My name is Sharon Bowen. For those of you who do not know me, I'm a personal trainer and nutrition coach. I've been doing this for about almost 8 years now. I'm so excited to be able to do this call with my good friend Ashley. She is a registered nurse. We got connected through mutual friends and through our supplements. And I'm just so excited for you to guys to hear all the things, right? She's very educated. She knows all the things about protein, and we're going to be going over that today. So, Ash, if you can just share with everybody on the call today a little bit about yourself and how you got into becoming a registered dietitian. You're muted. I can't hear you. No.
I love
There we
technology.
go. I can hear you.
Okay, we're back. Okay. I
Okay.
had a feeling something was going on. Okay, thank you, Sharon. So thank you for, again, yes, for having me today. I know you meant to say I'm a registered dietitian, so you just say registered nurse. It's okay. She totally knows I'm a registered dietitian. And yes, I have been practicing for about a decade now. I'm in insurance, so I've been working one-on-one in nutritional counseling with my patients, clients for the last 10 years. A lot of insurance companies and other groups like at colleges and things like that. So just all the people, I've seen so many different types of people. Like, no one can really surprise me at this point with anything they have going on nutritionally. So when it comes down to it, I think getting back to the basics is really good for most people. There's so much information out there. I really help to help people have like their heads spin a little bit less with all the information that's out there that could be confusing, differing opinions. I like to bring up the science-based information to the table and then help each individual to apply it in their lives and in the kitchen, especially. So I think we have some questions from
Yeah.
Sharon.
So I absolutely love the fact that you work with like all types of people, right? There's no specific, and all types of people need help with their nutrition so many times. So some of the things I'm going to ask you, I want to know, okay, so like, what is exactly protein?
Okay, so yes, that's our focus of today. So the science behind protein. So I will call it dietary protein. This is the food, the edible food out there that we can utilize for energy. So it is a large nutrient versus a small nutrient. A large nutrient, also known as a macronutrient, which does provide the energy to our bodies as well as has many other benefits. The muscle and tissue growth and repair is one of the things that is often discussed with protein, like functionally in the body. And then it's an enzyme, or different types of proteins are enzymes that catapult these like normal chemical reactions of the body, normal healthy functioning of our body systems, which keeps our body healthy, resilient, without problems. So we want a healthy protein intake versus not consuming enough. And then it supports our immune system, regulates hormones, and much more. But I really focus with my patients on the energy aspect of protein, and the fact that protein really is the nutrient that holds us over between carbs, proteins, and fats is the three main macronutrients. That's versus like micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, and other healthy plant chemicals. It's the top of those three macronutrients that really satiates us, that holds us over, and helps us eat the right amount of protein for our body.
I love that. So like with that being said, like when you're saying the right amount of protein, so how much protein a day do you suggest your clients to intake each day?
So that is like it is a general question, which could be answered like, okay, a woman, for example, should consume approximately 70 to 100 grams of protein a day. Let's say like that. That's a piece of information that you might get. sorry, I got a phone call, that you might hear, like, if you search, or if you would find that information if you Googled it. And it's not a bad answer. It's a good general recommendation that's out there for protein intake. So for a woman, 70 to 100 grams a day. It would be upwards of that for men, and it would really depend on your energy expenditure. But I like to work one-on-one with people on, okay, what is to define what is the right amount of protein for your body. I start out with what is called the resting metabolic rate, or the resting energy expenditure, RMR or REE. That is it's a calculation that you can use an app for it, such as at like bodybuilding.com. You plug in what I call your stats. So your height, your weight, your age, and your, I think, yeah, height, weight, age, and whether you're male or female. And it spits out a number for you that considers how much, like those, all of your stats. It considers all those things and tells you how many calories you're burning, how much you're burning in a day's time. It includes like some functioning of the body, such as digestion. So you're going to get this number that's spit out from this, based on this calculation. And then I estimate, which that number is an estimation. I also estimate what's called the activity factor. So based on what a person tells me, oh, I do this many steps per day, or my Apple Watch or Fitbit tells me that I burn this many calories. I try to find that a good estimated number, that the activity factor that I estimate, it's multiplied by that resting rate. So it might be that, okay, based on my stats, I burn about 1,500 calories per day or 1,400 calories per day. And then I multiply that by 1.3 or 4 to get closer to like the 2,000 calories per day that my Fitbit tells me that I burn. So the reason I calculate that number is so that I can make a good estimation of protein needs for that person. So it's a percentage of those calories burned that I would recommend as protein, and as a proportion of your total calories of carbs, proteins, and fats in a day's time. So I generally said that 70 to 100. I think that's a good place to land, but it really can be a little more defined for you as an individual.
Okay, so with that being said too, like, so what are some of the foods that you tell your clients, like your healthier choices with protein to
Mhm.
meet that goal? So meet the 70 to between 100 grams of protein a day. So what does that kind of look like
Mhm.
for one of your clients?
Mhm. Well, I like to utilize nutrition education resources. So we go through a protein sheet, a really nice protein resource that I have, and I consider everyone's, an individual's likes or dislikes of foods. Okay, I typically recommend a mix of animal and plant-based sources. So, someone might be a vegetarian or vegan. Okay, we'll tailor that. But animal-based sources. So I have a list that I wrote out in my head. It's so the typical kinds of animal proteins that you're going to hear about, but a little more specifically today, I would say organic or no antibiotic added lean chicken breast, no boneless or no or skinless chicken thighs. I think those are good because they're a little more moist. People like them a little more. Or lean ground chicken, or ground turkey, or lean turkey meat. I typically recommend 93% lean, and if you can, grass-fed ground beef, or cuts of beef with less visible marbling in it, just so it has a little bit less total fat, less saturated fat. Such as like a sirloin or a fillet. Wild, call it salmon fillets, whitefish like cod. If you do choose canned tuna, I like to recommend the Genova yellowfin tuna in olive oil, or you could do the, typical kind of like albacore tuna in water. But I wouldn't have more than like 1 or 2 cans a week of that, just because of the metals in that, the mercury. Um, Dairy food. So I typically say in small amounts, like an ounce or less in a day's time. So each day, 1 ounce or less, once a day, of your favorite cheese. I don't think it has to be a reduced fat cheese, but any of your favorite hard or soft cheese, a serving of cottage cheese or ricotta. Ricotta could be in a meal like a chicken parm, organic whole milk. I put that in my coffee. That's why I list that. And I know there's all the creamers and stuff, but organic whole milk, it could be in a whole grain organic cereal, less sugar, Greek yogurt or plain whole milk Greek yogurt, and whole eggs and egg whites. For plant-based sources, I love beans and lentils at this time of year. It's like it finally got cold, so it's like perfect for soups and stews this time of year. Nuts and nut butters and seeds that could be, separate or, with other foods like peanut butter or dates. I like to stuff dates with almond butter, or in a trail mix. So I love to recommend the omega trail mix. Chia seeds, ground flax seeds can be blended into your smoothies. Chia seeds can it congeals, but it can like really break down nicely in a smoothie to get that healthy protein intake and fiber and omega-3. And then there's of course the protein products that are out there. So that would help us increase our protein intake. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, such as, the whey or plant-based protein or all the protein bars, all the different varieties, and then food items that have protein in them. Like that can all add up. But I do always lean towards whole food sources rather than a lot of the packaged food sources in the diet to get to that 70 to 100 grams of protein a day.
I love all those options. Like sometimes I forget, like, okay, we do have, because I'm usually a person that will stick with like the ground turkey, the ground chicken. I can eat the same thing over and over again. So I love that you gave all of these options for sure. So this is like, she is definitely Ashley is somebody you definitely want in your back pocket. If you're trying to lose weight or gain muscle, like she's very, very on point with everything. So one more question. Well, actually I have two more questions. Before I get to the other one, when you're saying about tracking like your protein and stuff, do you have a specific, I know I'm going off the cuff here, a specific app that you use to track your macros? Like what is the app that you use for your clients?
Well, like I think the tried and true is my Fitness Pal, or I lose it is a close second. They just have different, like the platforms have just different looks to them. So it might be more appealing to the eye for somebody like to choose one or the other. I usually recommend them as learning tools. So, I mean, everything is an estimation when it comes to food tracking and even all the labels, like, they get as exact as possible on the nutrition facts labels, but truly everything is an estimation. And if you look up any nutrition information online about a food, it's going to vary based on the, the exact like makeup of the food, the soil that it's grown in, et cetera. So, or what the animals fed, et cetera. So like just consider everything an estimation. And it's just good if you to utilize those kinds of apps as tools such as MyFitnessPal or Lose It, which you can use the free apps to do that, the free version of the apps, just to get an idea of like, okay, how much protein am I eating in a day?
I love that because that's like something that I feel like getting back on track and doing that, and it helps clients really understand. Because some people might think like, oh, I'm hitting my goals, I'm hitting my protein, and like if you're not tracking it, you're not like 9 times out of 10 you're not hitting it, and then that kind of suffices understands like if you're working out and you're working out hard and your body's depleted, it's like, oh, I just need to add this in. It could be just like a simple adjustment, right? So with the protein intake, like how do you like what are some things that how do you optimize protein in your diet?
How do I optimize protein? What do you mean?
Yeah. So it says, was there anything else specifically how you optimize like your protein in your diet?
Sorry. I see.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, brain blip for me. So to optimize your protein intake, absolutely. So there's like a couple really important points I want to make about like just when you consider about your protein intake when you consider, okay, how can I be the most healthy I can be? So sleep is very important when you're aiming to, I mean, as many of us know, yes, sleep is very important for many reasons. But when it comes to protein, when we sleep, we our bodies are producing human growth hormone. And that's the time when, like, for all the hours that we can be sleeping, ideally 7 hours, 8 hours, if we possibly can, um, somewhere in there, our bodies are repairing at that time. Our tissues are repairing from the all the digestion that we did, the workout that we did. The digestion of the food during the day as our bodies rest and recover during the night. So if we can get as optimally, that number of hours of sleep that our bodies really need, then we can utilize the protein that we consume and get the best bang for a buck from our workout. And then I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade with like foods you love. I always feel bad when I say stuff like this, but it would just be so wrong if I didn't say this about protein. A lot of the protein foods that are out there are processed foods, including like the processed animal meats. And something I watched one of those Netflix documentaries that highlighted that processed meats, including foods like bacon, dare I say, ham, most of the deli meats that are like cured and processed, like there's roasted turkey meat, for example, that or like fresh roasted beef that isn't as processed, but just in general, the deli meats, pepperoni, uh, beef jerky, even though it's like a healthier, leaner protein, it is still a processed meat. Again, there are lesser evils. There are lesser processed versions of these than like better products that are out on the market these days that tend to be priced out the wazoo. But those are considered what's called a group 1 carcinogen. So there is an increased cancer risk for if you eat these foods on a regular basis. So like, if you're eating a lot of protein, if you're trying to meet a goal of even above 100 grams of protein, like many people will probably be eating over 100 grams of protein on a plan that I would recommend. But that's an average number. But to get to that number of grams of protein, like I see people eat this and that, and or salt, like sausages and things like that, like the breakfast sausage. It in excess, which we can define what is excess or what is the right amount of, that I allow in my diet for it to be moderate. It in excess, it does create problems in the body and our functioning, and increase cancer risk, especially colon cancer. So I think it's really, really important to consider that with our total protein intake.
So that's really good for people, like especially starting out in their health journey, like not understanding, like people might think like, oh, well, I'm eating meat, I'm eating my protein, but if it's deli meat and it's processed, yes, like it could cause all those, the cancers and even harder for you to lose weight too because your body's holding on to more things because of everything being processed also. So,
Yes.
I just love that you were able to hop on with me today. I'm going to go over real quick about the reset. So the reset is with Plexus. It is a 3-day metabolic fast. It helps you implement protein in the 3 days. It helps you with really breaking down the sugar cravings, the carb cravings, giving your body rest for 3 days. So I love how you talked about too, how like giving your body rest, how that helps recovery in like with your muscles, with everything, your digestive system. And this is something that totally does that. So it comes in a box. It looks like this, right? So what I love about this is very on the go, very simple that you can take with you. For me as a busy mom, like I need simple, I need easy. So literally there is 8 supplements in here and they have it right on the box here, exactly how to take it. It's like step by step by step. So it's very like, you don't have to write anything down. You just have the box with you. You're like, okay, in the morning I take the hydrate. So everything comes together each day separately. You literally just take out, this is the hydrate. You take out the packet, you mix it with a water bottle, mix it up, shake it, drink it. So it's simple, it's on the go. And what this is going to do is so for the 3 days, this is what you have. If certain people can have foods that align with it, right? So we have a soft reset and a hard reset. A hard reset is literally just water and this. That's it. If you do a soft reset, we have options for you. So if you're breastfeeding, we do a softer reset. If you're diabetic or if you're on specific like medications and stuff, whoever gets you on the reset, you work with them, you talk to them, have communication with them for sure. So I just want to kind of go over like two things in here. So this is the hydrate. This is the electrolyte drink. It helps. So basically, what this does is this helps you stay hydrated throughout the day, longer throughout the day. It tastes like lemon lime. It honestly tastes like the lemon lime Gatorade, but not as sweet, and there's no sugars in this, which is really awesome. And this is what you start off with the first thing of the day. The second thing I want to talk about is the lean shake. So we're talking about protein. So the lean shake, this has literally 30 grams of protein in it. You mix it up. So you can either do water, you can do almond milk or low fat milk. I suggest if you're trying to do a hard reset, just do it with water and mix it with ice, put it in a blender, and you're good to go. This is something that I have been doing for a while now, especially just even outside the reset, just being such a busy person in the morning, getting the kids off to school. I need something simple instead of skipping breakfast, because I know a lot of moms do that. We skip breakfast and then we're like, oh, we're just going to fast until lunchtime. This has been such a huge help just because it's super simple. It takes you 90 seconds to put this together, guys. And it has the minerals in it, the vitamins. It helps you stay fuller longer. It helps you like with protein, let's be honest, it's going to help build your muscles, right? It's going to help you with recovery. So today I just worked out and I helped trained and then I took this on my way home and I'm full. I feel good. So this is what this looks like right now. If you decided to join Plexus, you can get this absolutely free until the end of the month. It's an $89 savings. And honestly, I used to do this. I did one last week and it was my first time I did it in 10 months. And I like didn't realize it took like I waited that long to do it. And I will say this. Is it easy to do it? Yes. Can it be hard mentally? Yes, because you were doing something that you normally don't do, right? So anything you start up new, it can be a little bit harder. But what I will say is a couple tips is just to make sure you're drinking water in between every supplement. So I always say to people like do every 2 hours, right? It's like so you're doing the hydrate and then the next one is the lean shake. Like wait a little 2 hours or an hour and a half and then drink water in between, right? The more water you drink, you feel fuller. Keep yourself busy during that time. Do not cook foods that you love. Like, do not cook tacos for your family if you're doing a 3-day reset. Like, I love tacos. Like, do not do that to yourself. Okay. Like,
Oh,
I'll make breakfast. Like I can take her. I don't care about breakfast. I'll make breakfast for dinner, or I'll do like a pork tenderloin. My husband loves that. I'm not a big fan of it. I can go without it. Or I make sure I have leftovers. Like if we're doing it on a Monday, like Sunday night, we have leftovers. I'll do it. Give leftovers. So just like little tweaks like that to help you guys stay successful. Doing it. Um, I'm just gonna real quick. I just want to ask Ashley. Ashley, I know she did one a couple weeks ago. What, at your perspective as a registered dietitian, like what are your thoughts on the 3-day reset?
well, because I did the reset, I had that personal experience, of course. So it is helpful for me to have that perspective, like, okay, what would people experience with this? Um, as a dietitian, I try to help people have a better relationship with food rather than like too much restriction and dieting. Okay. So in terms of it being like a diet, I actually think the most important thing to consider is perspective. Um, it is a very, like Sharon said, it is challenging mentally. It is challenging physically when you cut your calories down significantly for a few days, but there is a definite purpose to it. When a person has been the same weight for a while and they are ready and seeking to lose some weight, that there's a need for the cells to like your body's cells to be like awakened and like detoxified, and like there's something I've heard of called the cell danger response that your cells are in, and it's like your body's not efficiently metabolizing the nutrients that you consume. So it really, I think it helps push through plateaus. I think nutritionally, I was looking through all the ingredients on for all of the all the pieces of that, the 8 pieces of the reset, and I think everything looks really good. I mean, that can be talked about at an individual level. What's in this? How do you feel about it? But I think it's a very useful tool to help to help help someone get over the first hurdle and of weight loss and like get into that mindset. I continued with the hunger control every day, and I'm in a place right now personally where I'm in like I just my happy spot is the 1.5 to 2 year mark after I had a baby, and I have a coming up on 20-month old, and I'm ready now to lose weight. And I needed that, like Sharon reached out to me at the perfect time because I needed something. And I'm actually seeing results now where I basically hung on to the baby weight until I was ready and until I started taking some steps in that direction. I think it helped me mentally to realize I can do this. I can, monitor my portions. I can make some healthier food choices after this reset. And I saw some results, in that I lost like 4.5 pounds during the reset, which crept up a little bit when I started eating real food, but then is actually going back down as I continue with this goal to monitor my food intake a little more closely. And it really does help you mentally, and then nutritionally it's complete. It helps you meet your protein needs each day.
I love that. I love the fact that like it's basically a jump start for people, right? Like it's a jump start into your weight loss journey. Or it could be like a restart for people, right? Like that it has been working out and then it's kind of hitting that plateau and trying to or can't get a hold of their food. It's like, okay, like just try this out, see how this does and give your body a break. Right? So, I love that perspective and how you put that. And I love that you're you're getting your goals are getting met, right? Especially with being a little less than a month into this. It's a really cool experience to think to be a part of. So I am just so grateful of you for getting on today and sharing all this. And Melissa, real quick, do you have any questions at all? I know she's with the kids. If not, no worries.
I think she said she'll
No,
message
no,
us
I
with
know.
questions if she
Okay.
has it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, you guys have an amazing day. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll be seeing you guys soon. Have a good one, Ash. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sharon. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.